Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up? I'm Alexandra Harbushka. I'm founder of Life With Herpes. It's been a minute since I have been live. I apologize. I've had a sick child. We tried to go on vacation and then I got sick. So when you have a sick child, you're mommy. You're just cuddling and doing all that. So anyways, it's been a minute since I've been live. I missed you guys and I thought, oh my gosh, I have a second. He's taking a nap. I can go live with you. So for those of you that are just joining or you're like, what are we watching? I am the founder of Life With Herpes. I have both HSV1 oral, I get cold sores, and I have HSV2 genital, which means I get outbreaks down there. This is something I've been living with for decades. I don't like saying decades, but I was diagnosed with oral HSV1 in 2003. So that's almost 20 years that I've had oral herpes, and then genital herpes I was diagnosed in 2011. So that's 11 years. Anyways, there's a lot of trauma is the word that came to me, a lot of trauma and disruption that goes with being diagnosed with herpes. It's very interesting. It's such a very taboo topic. It's a very shameful topic, yet it's something that the majority of the population has. So it's very sad that we shame and ostracize and make people feel dirty, unwanted, and alone when we all probably have it. I know I have it just because I've been tested. And that's the other thing is most people don't get tested. It's very interesting that 90% of the people actually living with HSV2 or genital herpes will never be diagnosed. They're not going to know they even have herpes. Why is that? You might be thinking, because I know when I heard that stat, I was like, what? They're never going to know they have herpes? Because number one, we're not testing for it, which is very, very frustrating. So we might be a responsibly sexually active adult. We go in to get tested. We say to our doctor, test me for STDs, STIs. Your doctor's like, cool, no problem. And your doctor doesn't throw in the herpes test. Why? Herpes is not included in the standard STI panel. So back to those people that don't even know they have it, or are probably asymptomatic, is because they've never been tested for it, and that's how it continues to get transmitted. The other reason why people may not know they have it or they're asymptomatic, well, basically I'm saying it right there, let the cat out of the bag. It's because we're asymptomatic. Majority of the people that actually have herpes are asymptomatic. So what does that mean? That you have it, you carry it, you're a carrier for the virus, however you want to say it, you don't get outbreaks. So that means that you just don't get outbreaks, which I like to say to you, very, very, very lucky you. There's a lot of us that are dealing with outbreaks that are super jealous of you that don't get outbreaks. I know if you're someone that's never had outbreaks, you might be frustrated because you're like, well, I don't know where I have it. Do I have it here? Do I have it there? How do I need to protect myself, my partners, all that? Trust me, it's way better not getting outbreaks than knowing where it is. Thanks for the hearts, you guys. I really appreciate it. And then the third and final reason why people may not know they have herpes is because they may have gotten an outbreak or something like that, but it may not have resembled a typical outbreak. So something that we don't realize is that herpes can look like paper cuts. It can be a paper cut. It's not necessarily the Google blister that you see. It can be a little paper cut, and it doesn't have to be just in the genital area. I'm going to stand up. It can be anywhere in the boxer region. So like my little shorts on, but it can be like anywhere in this region. It doesn't necessarily have to be just right in the vaginal or what do we call? We say vaginal area for women. What do we say for men? I don't know. That area? I don't know. But it can be on our butt. It can be on our hip. It can be below the belly button. It could be on the inside of our thighs. All sorts of stuff. So a lot of times we just go like, well, it's on my butt. It's not herpes. It's not on my genitals. Unfortunately, it can be anywhere in that area. So I see a groin. Thank you. Thanks, Tyler. I'm like, groin. I guess, but groin could be men and women, right? So I don't know. Groin could be men and women. Someone wants to go live. Let's see. Oh, I missed it. Okay. Let's see what people have to say. We found out my boyfriend got herpes and we are expecting our child, and I'm worried about the baby getting it. Okay, so I was just talking about this, about passing it to your child. I was interviewed this morning for an organization, and that was one of the things that we talked about. That is obviously a concern. That was one of the concerns I had when I was first diagnosed, is can I be a mommy? Can I even consider being a mommy? And obviously you're pregnant. Yes, you consider being a mommy. While the baby's in utero, the baby is 100% protected. It is in utero, so the embryonic sac and all that is going to protect it. And we have to remember, it's a skin-to-skin transmission. It's considered a skin disease. It's not going to pass through our bodily fluids. The concerns would be during a delivery, so I highly recommend getting on the same page as your doctor. And your doctor is going to be your advocate, and he or she will advise you about what they feel most comfortable with and what works best for you in your particular situation. For me personally, I had a vaginal birth. I was able to deliver my son Clinton vaginally. I did not have an outbreak, and I took the antivirals the last few weeks of my pregnancy. So I felt comfortable with the risks. Is there still a risk? Yeah, there's still a risk, but it's things that we can work around. All right. Let's see what other comments I'm missing. So congratulations on your pregnancy, though. I'm super stoked for you. Baby, somebody will love you for who you are and who you are, not what you have, but for what you are. And you are a beautiful inside out, and you're beautiful inside. Somebody will love you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I do have somebody that loves me inside and out, and I'm very lucky that I have found that person. On that note, a lot of times we use the words like, oh, I'm looking for somebody that will accept my herpes diagnosis, or we go through that mindset, especially when we're first diagnosed, so somebody will accept me. And I believe that language and that thought process comes from a place still of being submissive, isn't the word, but embarrassed, and still not dealing internally, like right here, with our herpes diagnosis. So you don't want to find someone that just accepts you for having herpes. You want to find someone that's wildly crazy, like, yes, about you. Your herpes diagnosis has nothing to do with it. When my husband and I got together, he didn't even care. That wasn't even, it was a conversation. I'm not going to say it wasn't a conversation. We had a conversation about it, and that's it. It wasn't like, well, Alexandra, I think I love you, or I love you, but I don't know. No. We were in it. It is what it is. Does it come up in our marriage? Yeah, there's times I can't have sex, obviously, because I have an outbreak, but we still, it doesn't get in the way of our relationship or our intimate side or anything like that. Like, we get creative, we have fun. How long did it take you to get your confidence back sexually? A long time. It took, I call it the Eeyore phase. That's, as we all know, Eeyore is the character in Winnie the Pooh, who's the donkey who has the rain cloud over him, who's like ho-humming along. That's, it's always, well, life's gonna get better type of person. And I was there for 2 years. I was stuck. I cried every day. I lost who I was. I was already losing who I was, and then herpes sealed the deal. What I realized in that is, like I just said, I was already losing who I was. I already somehow got off track, and it was my herpes diagnosis that snapped me out of it. So as soon as we can begin to look at this as an opportunity to better who we are and become a better version of ourselves, not beat us down and hold us back, is when we learn acceptance and forgiveness. How'd I get it? I got oral herpes from someone that kissed me on a date. The guy kissed me after a date, or goodnight, in front of my front door. I was 20 years old. That was actually a really big deal for me. I hadn't kissed, I maybe only kissed 3 guys at that point in my life. Let's see. Well, my first kiss doesn't count, but maybe 4 guys I'd actually kissed. So it was a really big deal. And yeah, he had a cold sore. So that was that. Genitally, I dated someone that had it. I dated someone that had genital herpes, HSV2. He didn't know he had it. He wasn't tested for it. He was going in and getting regular STD screenings or STI panel screenings, but herpes wasn't included on it, so he didn't know. And that's how I got it. Thank you. Is this is or second child? Thank you. This is or second. I only have one child. I don't know. Are you pregnant with your second child? I only have one child. Your fiance is HSV2 and we're trying to have a baby after an outbreak. When is it safe to try? So that's going to be what you and your partner, your fiance, feel comfortable with. I personally like to wait 2 days after I've seen it clear up. What clear up for me, I'm not a doctor. I can't obviously say, but for me is there's no, like, I can't visibly see it and I can't physically feel it. Those are my two signs that it's cleared. No one ever shares anything about throat herpes. Do you know anything about it or share for support? I don't know anything about it. I've come across it a few times. Number one, I'd like to make sure that you know it is on your throat, like you've had that swabbed. It is possible to get it internally in your mouth, but it's not very common. A lot of times we can think it's something else. So I'm not saying that's not what you have. I just want for the people listening to make sure it's something that because inside our mouth can be a lot of times confused for canker sores. Obviously canker sores are not in our throat, but definitely get that checked out if you have things in the back of your throat. And thanks for the hearts, guys. I really appreciate it. Where'd I get the recovery soap? Online. Do I have one right here? Yeah, the one in my shower was like halfway gone. It's the Reviver soap. This one, you can order it online. I have it linked for you in the bio. It's for the Secret Society Wellness products. It's linked there. It's amazing. I love it. It has this great eucalyptus scent. It's really good. How incredibly brave of you to open up about this topic. Oh, thanks, Michelle. You know what? It's something that majority of the population has. We don't talk about it, and if there's anything I can do to support people with it, that's why I'm here. What if it was the other way around? What do you mean? Is it normal? Is it normal to only have one outbreak? Yeah, in fact, it actually is pretty normal for people to only have one outbreak or to have no outbreaks. For example, I have oral HSV1, and I had my first outbreak in 2003 and my second outbreak in 2017. So far and few between. I don't even care. I'll risk it all. That's great. If you are in love with someone or want to be in a relationship with someone, herpes shouldn't matter. Were you with your spouse when you found out? I was not. I was dating somebody else. My spouse, he was not my spouse, obviously. I was dating somebody and I actually confided in my husband that day. I knew him at that point in my life, but he was not in my life romantically. So it's weird. I actually told him that day. When you have that conversation with a partner, that's a big one. Personally, I like to say whenever you are ready to have sex. So that could be, what is it you're looking for in a relationship? Are you looking for something really casual, a one-night stand, things like that? Then obviously sooner the better. The sooner you have the conversation, the better you have the conversation. If it's something like, hey, I'm not necessarily looking to jump into bed with you, I want to get to know you first, I'm looking for more of a commitment, more longer term, then I'd say whenever you're ready. It could be a week, it could be a month, it could be 3 months, it could be whenever you and that partner are ready. Don't ever feel like you're pulling someone along or dragging them along. It is, it's when you're ready to have sex. A lot of times we forget, like, dating is, you're interviewing someone. Like, just because we're dating doesn't mean that, like, we're ready to share every little thing about ourselves. He or she has something that they need to tell you too. They have a quote unquote secret or something they're worried or shameful about as well. So remember that. And whenever you're ready to have sex. Yes, you mean you've only had an original outbreak years ago. That's awesome. You're not taking medication and no outbreaks. That's awesome. That's awesome, Nicole. even if it doesn't show up, it's always dormant and with risk of spread. Yeah, so when it's dormant, you actually are not at risk of spreading it. It's when it's active, so you have an outbreak or the virus is shedding. Unfortunately, there's this thing called asymptomatic shedding, which means that you may not know you're shedding. It's asymptomatic. So you don't really know when you're contagious. That's why it's really important to have disclosures and so that your partner is aware. How many you setting on? Oh, well, that's part of the I got what you're talking about. Yeah, that's part of the stigma. You think that herpes is from being promiscuous. It's not. You know, you can be in a monogamous relationship and get it from a person who's been monogamous with you, that maybe had oral herpes and did things with his or her mouth with you. So it has nothing to do with promiscuity. It has everything to do with just being in contact and living life. But yeah, how many am I sitting on? One. Just one. Can I show my knees? That's funny. Sure, you can see my knees. There you go. There's my knee. I just want you to know that you are my hero. Wait, I lost you. You needed it 6 years ago. Yeah, I understand. It's very isolating. Hey, thank you for your page, Inspiring Information Herpes, for 4 years now. You're welcome. I'm glad I'm here for you. Do I have a long tongue? I do not have a long tongue. Do you? If you found a guy who had herpes, would you run? No, I wouldn't, obviously, because I have herpes. But prior to having herpes, I would say it would depend on the person. If it was somebody that I wasn't that interested in, absolutely. I'd be like, no. But if it was someone that I was interested in, I would want to understand the risks and understand what herpes is and move forward if it was someone I was really interested in. If you stay healthy and keep your immune system up, it can be better. Absolutely. Okay, there's a lot of comments, so I want to make sure. It's really brave of you and cool of you to talk about this. You're welcome. You only had your swab test for strep and then your blood test showed up for herpes. Yeah, I would look and see, Veronica, what happens again, like if you get an outbreak again on your throat, and have that swabbed. Because it's not typically on your throat. It's literally, it might have been your first one, but the rest of them would probably show up around your mouth. We used to talk when I was first diagnosed. Now I'm 3 years in with a beautiful son. Yay, congratulations, Stephanie. I'm just smashing hot dogs watching your show. Awesome, cool. I haven't had a hot dog in a long time. I like the Costco hot dogs personally. But I'm gluten-free, so I haven't had a hot dog in a long time. Yay, I'm glad I found you. I'm glad you're here, Stephanie. I remember you too. You're welcome, Veronica. Let's see. All right, I think I've kind of gone over all these. I just appreciate you being here with me. I will continue answering your questions, going live, posting videos, doing everything I can to get this message out. So thank you for liking, thank you for following, thank you for commenting, thank you for being here, and I just appreciate you. So keep me posted on any questions you have. Do I have both types? I do, and oregano oil is great. We actually put the oregano oil in our Epsom salts, which is our recovery soak. We put oregano in here, and yeah, it smells delicious and you feel really good when you get out. The Epsom salts help calm your nervous system, and all the other essential oils help your herpes outbreaks. Am I single? No, I'm married. All right, guys, have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye. Okay, don't know how to turn this off. Cool. There we go. Okay, by the way, do you guys like my pimple that I'm getting? Right there. It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. All right, thanks guys. Have a great day. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate you. Okay, bye.